We kick things off with a brutal war between the vampires and the beast folk. Our titular heroine, Terakomari Gansblood, Lady Komari for short, was about to take the battlefield when we immediately flashed back to a few days earlier. We joined the titular shut-in vampire as she shared her vexations with us. Born the first daughter of a powerful vampire family whose brothers proudly led armies to victory for ages. She's a rarely born daughter of great petite beauty. However, she's quite frail and couldn't use magic. It's most likely due to her distaste for blood, thus she chose to live a peaceful life. Komari's symbol, however, when she felt an ache in her belly she noticed the Molnite national emblem. We would soon find out what it meant. Vilhays. Suddenly we're introduced to the co-protag of the show, Vilhays, an imperial soldier who for some reason applied to become Komari's maid. After a scene showing a possible fetish of Vil's, we're introduced to Vamp Daddy, who had wonderful news. The 7 Crimson Lords. They explained to her she's appointed one of the 7 Crimson Lords of the Vampire Kingdom. It's all thanks to Komari jokingly telling Dad she'd be willing lead the army if she got the throne. Dad's so moved she reported to the Empress, who after much convincing, pretty sure Dad exaggerated, was like, sure. I could use the entertainment. She didn't put it that way exactly, but as we'd soon find out she might as well have. That or she's convinced when he said, my daughter is a once-in-a-millennium beauty. Vil telling Komari how the contract was sealed. I like to think that as Vil explained how the Empress made the pact with a sleeping Komari, it killed the maid a little inside. Empress presentation. I do hope girls openly flirting with or gleefully approaching our heroine means she is indeed a chick magnet. We got a delightful explanation of the terms. If Komari wanted to become the next Empress, she'd have to win at least 100 wars. Thankfully not in a row, but were she to lose too many, then pop goes her head. The good news was Komari would lead an army of hundreds of Bishan and vampire hunks. The bad news is vampires are conniving bastards willing to kill their leader for the top spot if given the opportunity. Thus the Empress advised Komari to put on as strong of a front as possible to hide her weaknesses. That's why she had Vil there to back her up. Komari wondered if she too would betray her at some point, especially knowing she's weak. No sooner did she open the door to meet her army did one of them aim for her head. Fortunately he's a blockhead not long for this world. Komari leads the troops to victory, no need for a play-by-play commentary on the battle. With help from Vil, Komari did her best impression of a leader and rallied the troops to a dominant win over the beast folk. Must have read plenty of shonen manga/literature because despite a few slip-ups she did a really good job. After the war we got the surprise reveal that all battles were contested under sports entertainment rules. Basically the 6 warring nations all possessed a dark core jewel thing. Said core's energy all gathered in one battlefield where all wars were waged. Regardless of how brutal the injuries and kills were, the heavens powered up the core's healing and resurrecting all soldiers, thus the entertainment war. It all felt pointless to Komari. We joined our once-in-a-millennium beauty Komari being cute again, along with an eager Vil ready to help her get dressed. As they went out on patrol they spotted mystery assassin who seemingly wanted to test their skills. After deeming them not much of a challenge she gloated and left. We'd see her again very soon. Komari and Bucephalus. After more seductive Vil goodness she lured Komari out of bed at the promise of checking out cool beasts to adopt. Our heroine gleefully accompanied her maid to the barn and chose a dragon-esque creature called Mizuchi that conveniently had an exclusive affinity for cute young girls, because of course it did. Komari named it Bucephalus, but I'll call it Gary Busey for no particular reason. As she prepared to ride Gary Busey it wasn't tamed, so it went full throttle right away. Blockhead dies again. I thought Blockhead dying would be a running gag per episode, but not really. Vil catches Komari. The main reason I'm not concerned with the sleazy hunky bunch is because we know the ladies will be the main focus. Alas, Blockhead, living up to his given nickname, refused to accept death and tried to kill Komari over and over to increasingly painful results. Finally he challenged our main cutie to a duel. Komari won as expected. Vil relishes her reward and enjoys Komari's beautiful body. Afterward Komari relaxed in the royal onsen thinking she should thank Vil for helping her win the duel. Ever the Chad, Vil wanted a more direct compensation. As our wonderfully honey maid relished the spoils of victory, Komari noticed her hands were bruised. She tried to avoid the subject, but her mistress demanded she explain herself. Basically all preparations for the duel weren't painless. Komari tried her best to properly thank Vil for her hard work but inadvertently came off passionate. The next day our heroines accompanied by the Leekan hunk attended a ball pre-Empress Ren's invite. They continued to be all chummy with Komari who still didn't know how to respond. When Ren got serious they were relieved to see our heroine out and about after what happened 3 years ago, worried she'd never come out of her isolation. They assured her they along with the loyal komarists had her back. After they left Komari to enjoy the party she's approached by the mystery woman. Komari tried having a conversation with the mystery lady but as it progressed it was clear she had a bigger problem with the entertainment war than Komari did and was part of a terrorist group bent on destroying the dark cores. Millicent Blue Knight here did not make a good case about she and her group, Inverse Moon, being in the right at all. Instead she's revealed as the lead bully who tormented Komari. That and she appears to be disgusted with her sheepishness. After wreaking havoc and injuring one of the few Hunky Bunch members I kinda liked she's cornered by Vil and Empress Ren. To make room for her escape she snuck behind Komari and threatened her but was strangely unamused by her trembling, preferring they had a death battle. She uttered the classic line of, "You have no idea what I went through," which was episode code for, "I'll tell you what my problem with you is later." A week later Creeper wanted to mount an all-scale attack on Inverse Moon but Vil said the higher-ups were trying to figure things out. She suspected there's a spy who helped Millicent sneak past castle security, and was right. She's more concerned that Komari has yet to her number 2, about the next course of action. When Creeper's like, "How dare you? I am her number 2. Vil easily proved her superiority as the more beloved pure pervert. Meanwhile Komari shut herself in her room wondering why her old tormentor had returned to continue making her miserable. We got more clues about the backstory. Millicent bullied Komari endlessly. At first she thought letting the pitiful jerks have their way until they grew bored was the answer but it became clear Blue Knight had an unknown grudge against her. One day she's about to tear off Komari's treasured pendant from her most likely late mother. She tried to escape but failed. She's about to cut off one of Komari's fingers but something happened. Obviously Komari didn't remember because we still have more show to go. For now the next clue was she bled from the mouth. Perhaps the sight of her own blood triggered berserk mode. Vil presents an important letter to Komari. As Vil tried to rally her beloved Millicent struck again. Fortunately the sexy bitch hadn't used her anti-core knives. Inverse Moon have weapons that bypass the Dark Core's resurrection powers and can permadeath their prey/victims, on the maid. She took her hostage and hoped Komari would entertain her by coming alone to the meeting spot, or else. After the sexy bitch left Komari acted like she didn't care about Vil but couldn't deny the maid was always there for her. Komari-sama and Gadoka blew the letter to her and it's flashback time. As expected our heroines had history together. Vil was another one of Millicent's victims. When she lost the will to live Millicent's minions said to leave the broken toy to rot but the bitch was like, then what better way to dispose of a broken toy than destroy it? Komari stopped her and it was pretty much love at first sight for Vil. However, Mil was quite meek at the time. She saw Millicent bully Komari non-stop yet didn't do anything to stop them like her heroine did for her. Emotionally scarred by her greatest sin, she pretty joined the army and toughened up in hopes of one day joining her soul mate. Eventually her wish came true and from that devoted herself to atoning for her sin she because she had to and wanted to. Repay her savior and maybe win her heart. After Komari told the Hunky Bunch this was a battle she had to fight alone she arrived at the meeting spot to face her tormentor and rescue her maid, future wife.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.